We have hit the usual detour that leads to the road to WrestleMania, and that is the annual WWE Elimination Chamber. And for the second year in a row, we go international, but this time a little bit more domestic, as the pay-per-view later tonight will be taking place in Montreal, Quebec, Canada. My French is that bad, I do apologize. But yes, we're in the French country of Quebec, which is interesting because this is Sami Zayn's home country. And he broke down in tears last night on SmackDown, if you didn't see. But yeah, here we go. The road to WrestleMania. Huge sports weekend, as tomorrow will be the Daytona 500. So, look how big this sports weekend has already become. By the way, it was noted that Charlotte Flair, the SmackDown Women's Champion, will actually be participating in the Daytona 500 in some way, shape, or form. No, she's not racing in it. But yeah. So, I want to mention that pay-per-view start time should be around 8 p.m. Eastern. So I just want to note that. This is going to be the first time since 2009 where WWE's holding a pay-per-view since Breaking Point. And what was interesting about that pay-per-view back in 2009, the main event was CM Punk taking on The Undertaker for the World Heavyweight Championship. And that was the famous I Quit match where John Cena literally had to go out of his way to handcuff Randy Orton. That's how far back you gotta go to a WWE pay-per-view. Now, let's see, right. The Legacy defeated Triple H and Shawn Michaels. So this was still when D-Generation X was still wrestling. But in any regard, let's go to our current 5 matches we have later tonight. So first up, I guess we're going to go with the way I want to organize it. So I want to go to the mixed tag team match. I'm pretty excited for this one. Edge and Beth Phoenix. Now, Edge came back at the Royal Rumble, and of course made sense. They want to lead up to a storyline with the Judgment Day. So you have a mixed tag team match featuring Finn Balor and Rhea Ripley. Now at ringside will be Damian Priest and Dominic Mysterio. So this Monday Night Raw storyline transpires into this pay-per-view. Who do I see winning? I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I do have the Judgment Day winning. This is what Rhea Ripley needs the momentum, taking on Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania Hollywood. So yes, let's give the win here to the Judgment Day. Next up, we got Bobby Lashley taking on Brock Lesnar. And it seems to me that, hint, hint, there's a good chance that Bobby Lashley might be going back to the Hurt Business with MVP, Cedric Alexander, and Shelton Benjamin. There's a pretty good chance this could be happening here. So what leads up to it? Brock Lesnar wins, and then the next night on Raw, you see MVP convincing Bobby to come back, and the rest goes down. So that's the way I see it happening. You know what? Let the Hurt Business come back to full strength. They were a good storyline 3 years ago in the lockdown era. So bring them back. I would love to see them back. Especially how, they'll have proper crowds reacting to them. Unlike 3 years ago when they were locked in a warehouse in Florida. So yeah. Let's see how that ends up. Hunter, you better make that reunion happen. That's all I gotta say. Alright. So next up, let's move on to our Elimination Chamber matches, because I think the main event's going to be the championship match. So I think we're going to go right to the women's. Okay? Here we go. Asuka, Liv Morgan, Nikki Cross, Raquel Rodriguez, Natalya, and Carmella. All vying for a shot to take on Bianca Belair at WrestleMania Hollywood. Who do I see coming out of this match? The most logical person who I could see coming out of this match, and it makes sense here, I think they're going to give the win to none other than, I hate to be the obvious one here, I think they're going to give it to Asuka. Because Asuka, yes, she just came back, but there's a lot of storylines on SmackDown, if you didn't see last night, going down here. Is this a leeway where it transitions into the championships becoming unified? We'll see, but last night was just mayhem on SmackDown. I couldn't even understand why Liv Morgan, Nikki Cross, and Raquel Rodriguez were even going neck and neck with each other. Just because they're going to be locked in the chamber later tonight? Really? That's all I gotta say. And of course, let's go to the obvious. Sorry to waste everybody's time here, but A-Town's gonna win and defend the title here. Look at all these guys locked in the chamber with him. Seth freaking Rollins, boring. Whoa. No one wants to hear that anymore. I think we're done with that. The only person who I'd like to see win out of this match would be Johnny Gargano. You know what? Maybe have Austin win, and then down the line, have Johnny Gargano get a one-on-one spot. I think we're ready for Johnny. Johnny Wrestling's ready for Austin Theory. Make it happen at WrestleMania somehow, some way. Because it's not going to be John Cena. John Cena's too busy promoting the new Fast and the Furious movie. And let's not mention he's dressing up as a woman now to play a movie character. Yeah, John Cena's too busy to take on Austin Theory right now. Especially with that big bald spot that was on his head back in December. So Austin Theory wins, and then maybe they find a way to get Johnny Gargano involved in the storyline. I feel bad for Seth Rollins. I don't think he's going to make the card. You know, he made a big deal last year as a heel. I know he's trying to become a face character again, but you got to remember, last year Vince McMahon was still in control. Vince was actually for the idea of bringing back Cody to WWE out of all random things. You know, this is Triple H. He controls the shots now. He's not going to put Seth Rollins on the card. I just don't see it happening unless something transpires the next couple of weeks on Raw. I don't know, but no, I don't think Seth's making the card. No. Montez Ford. This is just going to be a waste of time. Why are we even having this match? Okay. Last but not least, and I'm going to have a very controversial way to how I think this goes here. Roman Reigns defends the championship against Sami Zayn. After Sami finally turned on the bloodline back at the Royal Rumble a couple of weeks ago. This is where I think what Cody Rhodes said on Raw meant something. You know what I mean by meaning something? I mean here, look what will happen. Cody is going to get what he wishes. And we will have a triple threat match at WrestleMania Hollywood. Roman's long reign finally ends. It's been rumored now that Roman Reigns wants to take some time off after, I guess, being on beast mode now for like 3 years almost. This is the time that Roman gives up the belt. And we're going to have a triple threat match at WrestleMania. It will happen. And then Roman will take time off for a while. You know, having that consistent work schedule for like 3 years, you know, being in the Thunderdome, coming back when crowds were allowed 2 years ago, and now this. I mean, we're starting to see the bloodline go down, and this is just the start of how it begins. Sami wins the belt, and then the question will be, what's going to happen with the Usos? I mean, that's going to be another question with Jimmy and Jay, because last week, Jay came out of nowhere in the crowd to defend the titles against Braun Strowman and Ricochet. And remember, that was supposed to be the spot for Team Banger. So, I'm still keeping optimism that Team Banger still has a shot at the tag team titles down the line. I mean, Drew and Sheamus have been kicking butt lately, but, you know, I'm still hoping this leads to the eventual storyline that Team Banger wins the tag team titles. So we'll see how that transpires going on next couple of weeks. Does it lead into WrestleMania? I could see that happening, but yeah. Triple threat match will happen at Mania. You heard it from me first. Sami wins. It'll feel good to see him carry the belts going into Mania, but then after that, I'll have to see what happens. Because it's going to be 3 talented men. One guy finally getting what he wants. Cody trying to reclaim his family legacy, and Roman trying to get his precious titles back, but we'll see. So there you have it. My predictions for the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view are done. There you have it. Right here. So, we will wrap this up. Enjoy the pay-per-view tonight. Thank you all for watching. And I will be back likely in March. Last week in March to predict WrestleMania. So thank you all for watching. Until the next one, please take care.